Hey, what's up, soldiers? My name is GregFPS, and welcome back to another Black Ops 3 Zombies video. Today, I'm joined by iPro Zombies,
Hello.
Russian, as well as JSkeleton, and we are going to be discussing the brand new Zetsubou no Shima map trailer prelude type thing that we got. And honestly, it looks absolutely amazing. So let's start off with opening, what was your first reaction to seeing that? We'll start with Adam.
When I first saw it, like when I was watching the trailer the first time, it kind of gives me the vibe, even though we haven't seen the playable map yet, that they are going for the more scary atmosphere we haven't had in a long time. Like the last map that tried to be scary in a way was Mob of the Dead. So I'm really sort of fond of the fact that they're going back to that because maps we've had so far have all been a bit sort of cartoony or not taken seriously as much in the way that the maps used to be back in World at War and Black Ops 1.
Yeah. But how about you, Russian?
See, like the way that I thought of the trailer was I was a little bit confused at the start because to me, we usually you see something where like you'll see a small piece of the map like you did in the Giant where they're in the teleporter room or in Shadows, where like they're running through parts of the map. But we saw nothing. We were on a boat, and that makes me think we're probably going to see something where it's more story driven than any of the maps we've seen in a long time. Like Shadows, yes, that was completely story driven, but I think this is more focusing on the story than a map that we've had in a very, very long time. And this shows that they're trying to hide whatever's in the map until, the very last second, unless we're getting another trailer with, actual gameplay in it or we see more of the map. We literally have seen nothing right now.
Can I add
So it
something to
seems like
that?
we're trying to hide it.
Just quickly, where they actually said there's going to be like new transport systems. So part of that makes me think that there might end up being multiple islands you can travel on, and that you can use a boat to get in between them. Just something I thought of.
That'd be cool.
Possibly. Maybe an underwater sort of transport system.
Maybe I like the transport systems. Like they either really hit or really miss. I like them.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Jay Skeleton, what do you think about the whole thing? Like, what were your first thoughts?
I don't know, man. I mean, the first thing I thought was hype and disappointment. Hype in the sense that, the trailer was epic, it was absolutely insane. The disappointment, I guess, was not being able to see any of the map. But again, I wasn't surprised because, I mean, Horizon Drac, you don't really, in its prologue, you don't really see any of the map either for the most part. You know what I mean? But I definitely think, like you guys said, and like Jason Blundell said, it looks like one of the more darker, one of the more kind of eerie kind of zombies maps that we haven't seen for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I'm stoked. I mean, when that first screenshot even was leaked before the trailer, I mean that alone got me super hyped because the whole island based kind of thing really hypes me up, and the fact that the description of the map has something about like a new zombie species and stuff. I don't know, man. It's just I'm hyped.
Just quickly, something I saw a quote from one of the developers is that the map is fundamentally disturbing, the scariest map they've made. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my first reaction was like, wow, this looks epic, obviously with the storm and everything. And there was a few other things as well that I thought just added to it. With the, speaking in Japanese was really cool. We've never had actual characters besides zombies in the trailer, um, as well, which is cool, which was awesome. And there was some really good, I don't know, it was just awesome. It was so hype building. Like, you felt like Takeo was a complete badass. Like, figured he was going to grab the sword and just go off. And he was using a katana. Chances are we might not get it because he used one in Origins as well, but hopefully
Supply
we
drops
do.
only.
Yeah. You can only get the DLC from supply drops. I'm gonna read
Yeah.
the actual description of the map. I
Okay.
thought it was kind of funny how they called it Eclipse and we destroyed the moon, but Eclipse also sets the stage for Zetsubou no Shima, the highly anticipated all-new entry in the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 zombie storyline that spans 4 DLC map packs for Black Ops 3 this year. The Origins characters continue on their mission to stop the zombie apocalypse not only in this universe, but in all universes. Our heroes find themselves stranded on a remote Pacific island, which is home to the Division 9 facility, a secret biological research lab whose experiments with element 115 and its effect on human, animal, and plant biology has created horrors beyond belief. Zetsubou no Shima features a foliage-rich island map including new terrifying zombie enemies, a variety of innovative transport mechanics, and more devastating traps and classic zombie side quests.
See, the way that I'm taking that is, and this just popped into my head, we're probably gonna have a spider boss, which I think everybody's kind of in agreement on. That's gonna be a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But we might see the return of the monkeys, because we haven't seen them in a long time, and they were never really fully explored. They just kind of were in Ascension. They went to the moon, they were supposedly to the moon. They just took off in a rocket. We never saw them again.
Well, I
And
mean,
then,
chances are that island is in that general area, the Pacific. I mean, I'm sure there's monkeys there.
yeah, there probably is. We might see them,
And they could be mutated too. Like they could be
yeah.
a boss round as well.
Yeah.
And then the plants, I'm thinking they might be some sort of trap. It might be something where, you can use a plant trap to kind of trap the spider in and then make it easier to kill him. I'm not sure.
Or there could be like a big Venus flytrap that you can cause to kill zombies. Maybe it will drop like some type of ooze or something. Or
Yeah, they're probably going to
zombies will
go the
get stuck.
Apothicon servant kind of route and make it so that you're going to have to do certain things in the map, and it's going to be kind of RNG based, on when you're going to get the wonder weapon.
Yeah, if I can add to that though, I feel like in this map we're gonna see the difference between the experience with 115 that Division 9 have done and Group 935 have done, because obviously Shino Numa was a Group 935 research facility in Japan, but this is completely different. Like, I feel that the zombies might behave differently in some ways, and they might act differently, might look a lot different. Obviously, I feel like this is maybe kind of a step a step away from the way zombies have traditionally looked and behaved, just as of testing the water to see how it's received by the fans.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
could also
and this-
see Nova crawlers too.
Oh, that'd be a shout.
Ooh. And this was, also something that popped into my head because Blundell, after the whole trailer was done, he actually answered a question where someone said, is there going to be a new type of zombies? And he did say that there was going to be zombies that we've never seen before. So it's definitely possible that, either there's, obviously they're bringing back the napalm zombies, was it?
Yeah.
Because, we did see the one guy light on fire, which I'm sure, they didn't just put in there just because they felt like lighting somebody on fire. And I think, it might be possible that they did something where they did an arachnid human crossover, because that would be something that they do. I'm confident in that.
The thing that Richtofen threw that lit the guy on fire, it reminded me a lot of Molotov cocktails. So there's a possibility that those could be on the map as well.
That'd be sick, man.
Can I make a prediction of the Easter egg? Because I feel like I know what it's gonna be.
Sure.
I feel like it's gonna be like some elaborate scheme of finding the summoning key. Because if you look at the end of the trailer, they obviously catch it before they fall off the boat. But when they get back on the lifeboat kind of thing, the summoning key's gone. They don't have it anymore. So I reckon they've lost the summoning key underwater, and the whole Easter egg's gonna be about getting that summoning key back. That's just what I think.
I don't think so. I think that because Richtofen doesn't hold the summoning key the entire time, and then he just pulls it out in the trail, at the ending cutscene after you complete the Easter egg. So it's probably they probably just were like, okay, we'll just put it in his pocket.
But if you have a look at it, Takeo has it in his hands, and you see them
And
all
then
the whole
it's gone.
time, and then they jump off the boat. But when they come up, it's gone. So unless
Yeah,
it was
but you're zoomed
underwater.
in on Nikolai only, right away.
You
What
can
he
see him
says.
in the background
Yeah.
now. Can you?
I don't. I honestly don't think that's what's gonna happen, but you never know. And it one of the quotes from Horizon Jack was that what was it? He's in a chamber below the waves. I can pull it up 1 second. Give me 1 second. That one's really cool.
I think, and I'm just going to, say the direction I think they're going with it while you're pulling up the quote. But I think they might go in a direction where it's definitely possible they're not going to have the summoning key the whole time. And I think it might be a sort of cruder map where it's going to be more survival based than it's been in a long time.
Yeah, it's called
But
in
you know,
the
it's going to be story driven, obviously. But you know, it might not be where you can actually go and get Jug on like round 2. It might be something where it's going to be all the way across the map, and it's just going to genuinely be a harder map, and the zombies are going to be, you know, faster. We might get, you know, the sprinters back.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a genuinely harder map, and I think that the way that the Easter egg is going to cap off is you might have to go underwater for it. There might just be a general way to do that. They're obviously going to implement the swimming mechanics somewhere, but I'm not sure how they're going to completely wrap the whole thing up because we don't know anything. We don't even know if, you know, what the boss is. We have no clue about anything yet because they haven't shown any of it.
This ties in directly. The quote was, "In the cell beneath the waves is where honor suffers." So I would assume that the older Takiao is either like bound or chained or something, and we have to free him from that. But I agree with the whole thing about having different zombies, and I think with these new zombies, I think that's going to tie in directly with the Easter egg as well, where you have to kill specific zombies, because like back in like Shangri-La and stuff, you had to do certain things with the napalm zombie for the Easter egg. So I'd assume that there's going to be similar things to that. And I also agree with it being a lot harder. Usually, at least for the second maps, have been harder. Everyone thinks Mob of the Dead is the hardest map, besides like Transit, I guess, and Black Ops 2, which I don't really think so, but it still is really close quarters. So I'm kind of excited to see if this map is going to be really close quarters as well and hectic. But I would assume so. I mean, if it's in the woods, you can only go so far. Or like
Yeah, but yo, wasn't the second
swamp.
map on Black Ops 2 Derise or whatever?
It was Mob of the Dead.
Derise.
Mob of the Dead-
Mob of the Dead was
The second
third.
DLC was Mob of the Dead.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was, eh?
Die
Yeah,
Rise
okay,
is the
my
first
voice-
one.
Yeah, Die Rise was the first one, my bad.
You know what it reminds me of? Like obviously it's not related, but the way the map looks from what we've seen so far and the picture we had leaked, the Call of Duty Ghosts DLC map Fog has some like it. If you look, if you see pictures of it, it looks eerily similar.
Yes, it does. The one with Michael Myers on it.
Yeah.
There might be, you know, like a small tie-in because Treyarch's known for like, you know, just hinting at sort of things and then you have no clue what it's about until the next game comes out. Because, and this is something that, you know, I found very, very interesting that Blundell said. He said, you know, that there's a ton of Easter eggs we still haven't found. And a while back, he said that there's Easter eggs in like Keynote or Toten that we haven't found, which is really, you know, pretty interesting to me. I don't know why that just popped in my head though.
Yeah.
But something that just occurred to me was, you know, we are in probably Southeast Asia somewhere, and, you know, there's probably going to be another flying sort of thing, like with the bugs we saw in Shadows of Evil. There's probably going to be another flying, you know, thing that's just going to be shooting at us. I'm going to take a guess at that, or there's going to be something in the trees, like, you know, smaller spiders that are going to jump down, something.
Yeah.
I
I could see that.
definitely think it's gonna be spiders, man. No doubt. Especially if you go look at the screenshot that was leaked a while back from none other than Activision themselves. You got like that fungus and stuff by the trees on the left side, and I don't know, man. It just kind of looks like something that you'd see some kind of mutated kind of spider zombie thing. You know, maybe like a new dog round, but you know, instead of dogs or the flying things in Shadows of Evil. Or the monkeys in Ascension will be like some kind of spider, you know, enemy or something. I don't know, man. But
Yeah.
I just realized that it looked eerily similar, and this, you know, just occurred to me. It looks eerily similar to the hives in Extinction from Call of Duty Ghosts.
yeah,
The pods that we saw, which makes me think that, you know, there's probably going to be something where, you know, they've got like, you know, extra limbs, or, you know, there's going to be funky looking zombies, because it seems like something where they'd go in that general direction, and they might be, you know, preluding to something in Ghosts, which, you know, like I said, is not out of the realm of possibility. They've done that before.
All right. Other thing though, basically what the Japanese guy's saying is when he's interrogating Takio, he's saying, "How did you get hold of the summoning key?" No one answers, and he says, "Anyone going to answer?" And it basically is the whole cutscene is these Japanese guys know about the summoning key. It's not just a thing that Richtofen knew about. People know about it. It's not a secret in any way at all what the summoning key is about.
Mm-hmm. And this also goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Was other people do know about the summoning key, and the other question is, and Greg talked about this for a couple seconds, and we never dived into it. But this is huge. We've never really seen other people other than Dr. Groff, but that was in the past, in an actual zombies map. So the question remains, is it sort of like this bubble that follows these guys around from where they go, and there's everyone, is everyone else in the world living their regular lives, and this is happening, the dimensions are getting distorted wherever they go, and the rest of the world is left unharmed, and these guys just happen to get caught in the middle of it? Or is it something that there's a much bigger plot going on that, is much, much bigger than, we could have actually imagined as a community?
Yeah, because with like what you just said, we knew around Black Ops 2 time. Black Ops 2, the whole world was under a zombie apocalypse. But with the sort of alternate universe we're in now, we don't actually know anything about the outside world. Because obviously the way they played it out in Black Ops 2 is the rockets hit the Earth at the end of Moon. And it's just about surviving the zombie apocalypse after that in Black Ops 2. But now, we don't know. It could be anything. We just genuinely have no ideas about the outside world apart from where these characters have been.
Yeah, because in Morgue City, basically only Morgue City is, under that as far as we know. That's the only place that's affected at this point, because there hasn't been anything on a big enough scale, and there really hasn't been any quotes that has said, okay, the rest of the world is affected by this. And that could be something where, we could have tie into, we could see other people that aren't affected by it, and we're sitting here fighting zombies in a separate dimension. And he did talk, Jason Blundell did talk about the multiverse theory, and he basically confirmed that that's what's happening. Is, there is multiple dimensions, but like I said earlier, it's one of those things where, is it just where our characters are going, or is the whole world caught in a multiverse?
Well, I have something to add to this. There's newspapers on Horizon Jack. One of them's in the main computer room, the Eagle's Nest. There's another one right next to the projector, and it's talking about attacks in London with zombie outbreaks there. And there's another one, I don't know where exactly, but so that could tie in directly with what you're trying to say about the rest of the world affected.
And quickly, just
because I honestly think they're trying to find a cure. That's why they're trying to find Element 115 and actually find a cure to end the zombie outbreak.
Yeah, I do have the trade up right now. Give me a second opinion on this. I just PM one of my mates, and he reckons that the guy holding the summoning key is the original Takio.
It's not.
It looks like him.
It's definitely not.
No. I went to it looks like him.
It might be his brother or something. That's, it's a possibility that he has some sort of tie-in to Takio, but there's no way that it is Takio. Because I think in the trailer, he gets stabbed, and they wouldn't make it so that, he's stabbed before the map and he's dead before the map even starts.
Richtofen's dead before the map starts in the Giant.
Well, you know what I mean, though. But there was no Easter egg at the time, again, we're not going to go into that whole thing.
They would have captured his soul as well, and it would be in the trailer if that really was.
Yeah. I mean, the way that, there's probably, like I said, Jason Blundell's always cryptic about what he says, and for good reason. And I think that something that a lot of us overlooked is that the Keeper language was actually on his shirt, and it seems to me like we're going to learn a lot more about the Keepers in this next map. Because we haven't really dove into their language much yet, and we haven't really gotten too far into them as a whole. We've been focusing on the Apothecans, and that's something interesting that I thought about. And plus, we don't know the whole Apothecan language, I believe. Correct? Yeah. We don't know every symbol. And since Jason Blundell has the shirt, it shows that they figured everything out. And then we missed the Keeper language because that was cropped below where the bottom of the green screen was. But I feel like that's something that we're going to see a lot more of is the Keepers. in this map. And we're gonna learn a lot more about them and how they tie into this whole thing.
Yeah.
Right. Did he hint like something with the keepers too? Like No Jay asked him something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it had to do with the keepers and something about them coming back or something like that. Or
Oh yeah, Jason Blundell said you can never trust a keeper,
yeah.
which, I thought about this a long time ago. I was like, how do we know the keepers are really on our side and there isn't some, ulterior motive to what they've been doing with us? How do we know we haven't been skewed in their direction and actually one side's right or the other and we've been going towards the wrong one? That's really the question that we have to ask ourselves here.
If anyone's watching this who likes looking for Easter eggs, by the way, completely unrelated, just off on a quick tangent, he refused to say whether that bloody crow has anything to do with an Easter egg or not.
Yeah, that's true.
So, someone find out.
Isn't there another crow next to the first debris that you opened to go into Samantha's room? I think there's one like around there as well.
There's probably some, prophecy about a black crow that we haven't, delved into much. But it's probably like, if we see it in the next map, then it's definitely something that is, we have to focus on more. But I think right now it's just something that, it might be a small Easter egg, but I don't think it's much.
Yeah, because the way it went was Noah killed the crow and asked if there's any reason why you should do that. And then Jason said, I can't condone you killing wildlife. But I didn't say, but then Noah goes like, so there's nothing to gain from killing that bird. And he goes, I didn't say that. So he's just being his old cryptic self.
Maybe you have to kill it with like the normal crossbow or something.
Yeah.
But what if there's like 4 crows hidden in the map and you have to kill each one with
possibly
each bow or something?
You have to kill the crow with a HG40 and then do a 360 with the Shadow Claw.
Something else I thought of was, does anyone remember the inside the fireplace of Der Eisendrache? There's the symbol like we did to unlock the sword.
That's for the firebow.
It's for the firebow.
Okay, I was gonna say if there's I didn't really know that whole thing because I've never really done the firebow, but I was gonna say if that's in other maps that could mean something, but never mind.
Yeah, fair enough.
But still, I mean, there is a lot of things that the community obviously hasn't found in Black Ops 3, and I think we're pretty much set on the path that Shadows of Evil's Easter egg will never fully be finished. I think we're at that point. It's either that or it's gonna be done after the 4th DLC, just because we're gonna have to go back to it, and then like Black Ops 3 doesn't end with DLC 4. It'll end with the Giant, but it'll have to go back to Shadows of Evil somehow.
Can I just quickly can you quickly focus on the fact that they all fall back off the little lifeboat at the end? Just someone give opinions on that.
Like, I think it's just, like, it was something harmless, like, they were just swimming. I don't think that it was anything, major where they were getting off the life raft. I think it was just something pretty harmless.
They, flopped off. It wasn't like they let go. They were on the lifeboat and they all sort of slid off one by one. Kind of in the way that in the Shadows cutscene, they all sort of fall asleep and then wake up in like, Shadows of Evil.
I mean, they could just wake up and, they're on shore.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It could be, where the starting room is, it's on the shore, and then zombies can either come out of the water or there's going to be a barrier or two. I don't think they're going to be in the middle of the island like people assume they are, and then you have to go outwards. I think it's going to be something where it's going to kind of be like a tree where you're going to go straight, and then you can go off into a bunch of different directions. It's not going to be, where we're already in the center, and then we can go in kind of a circle around it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The only thing I thought when they slipped off the boat, like, was they were trying to like flip the lifeboat over or something. I don't know. That's like my first reaction of it, but
yeah, I didn't think of it
not.
as anything too major. I thought it was just kind of something harmless.
Yeah,
that they did.
Yeah. I only noticed it when Greg brought it up to me before we recorded this, so it could be nothing.
I don't know. It's and like obviously we have to take everything Jason Blundell says with a grain of salt because
a mountain of salt.
Yeah, because we don't really know what he thinks most of the time because there's been stuff that he said that never actually came true. So either he's just messing with us all, saying that the Apothecon Servant and all these Easter eggs, whatever, are either they're not real and he's just messing with us, or it's part of some greater plot that Treyarch is scheming up.
Yeah.
And like I know we already covered this, but the whole Apothecon Servant thing, not just being in Shadows of Evil, is massive. Like, I think that people are like truly overlooking that, even though that was the big cliffhanger that they ended on. I don't think
massive.
That's gotten enough recognition.
It's massive in that Noah can now do Der Eisendrache Maristar or Upgrade Hunt live streams instead.
I honestly think it's going to be on this map or the 4th map. 100%.
Yeah.
I think we'll definitely see it again. Like,
I mean, I definitely don't have anything against that because it's like one of the best wonder weapons there is.
I reckon it is the best.
Hopefully we get it from the box, and it's a box weapon besides like another wonder weapon on the map that you can build.
And something that me and Adam were talking about before was we were talking about DLC 4 and the whole multiverse theory and stuff. And for DLC 4, I think that, and I think Adam kind of believes the same thing, is that the way that it's all gonna pan out is it's gonna pan out where it's gonna be one map and then just a solid map like we usually have, and then as you start doing the Easter egg steps, you get teleported through time and space, and you get teleported to fragments of different maps that we've had in the past, and then you go to something that we never would have looked at before, and that's part of the Easter egg, and you go through like a bunch of different maps that we never thought were very significant.
What is that
like
noise?
5. Like it could be one of those weird things where we're gonna have to get stuff from older maps and then bring it back, and that's gonna go through the whole Easter egg. That's how I think it's gonna go. How do you guys think?
I kind of am on board with you in a way, but the way I see it is that DLC 4 is going to take place inside the summoning key.
That's possible. That's definitely possible.
I think it's going to take place somewhere, and eventually, like the boss keeper battle, it will go in the summoning key. But the people are dead, like you don't know if they're alive within the summoning key or if they're completely dead. And another thing to tie in as well is Jason Blundell said that they are fond of the boss fight.
And
so,
they said
other maps could potentially all have boss fights as well.
It was a little bit tongue in cheek, but the way he said, like, for one of the DLC's boss battles, they need to have basically an entire map just for the boss.
Which like that's kind of where I was going with that, where like you could go through stages of a boss battle throughout different maps, and that's kind of where the Easter eggs are gonna go. Because, and something else Jason Blundell said was there's never a one-off map. Like, everything has a purpose in the storyline.
Nuketown is relevant.
Yeah, Nuketown's relevant, and we've never really explored that. 5 is relevant. So is Mob of the Dead. Transit's more relevant than we think. And so is Dire Eyes, was like kind of semi-significant.
How can you say those are relevant, though?
Because he said they're all relevant. He said there's no one-off maps. They all contribute in some way.
But I think he's talking about the new maps. He's not talking about the old ones that...
No, he said in Zombies there's no such thing as a one-off map.
Yeah. Yes, but he could only be talking about the new maps, starting with Origins and Mob of the Dead. Because this is a whole nother storyline. Why the hell would we go back to the 1960s with JFK, or Nuketown is...
Well,
kind of just
the
map.
The other question is, why the hell would we be in the 1920s in Morgue City?
Right.
Yeah, but that's where they get the summoning key, and that's part of the new storyline. It goes Origins, then it goes Shadows of Evil, then it goes the Giant, and then it goes Der Eisendrache. Like,
all I'm saying is, with the storyline so far, especially with the Giant and Der Eisendrache, they've been basically undoing what Jimmy Zielinski was doing. So I feel like they'll bring something up at some point. That means Nuketown or 5 or Call of the Dead.
I honestly don't think that will have any tie-in, because you blow up the Earth with the old storyline. Now we blew up the moon. Therefore, we're not blowing up Earth. So therefore, the entire Transit Nuketown storyline gets thrown out of the window. So I don't think that has any relevance at all.
You can't say that storyline is irrelevant, because they have been teasing Mob of the Dead stuff, which if
Yeah,
you
but
wanna factor
that's
the
in
whole
this.
time
That
frame
is
down.
in that is in this timeline though. That was a whole nother universe. That's in this
You could definitely
universe.
say that, but
Well,
that's why
well,
it's all
why would they
opinions.
have a bunch of Mob of the Dead stuff on Shadows of Evil? It's in the same universe.
Mob of the Dead's obviously relevant because every map so far, I think, bar Der Eisendrache, has had some sort of throwback to the Mob of the Dead plane.
Yeah.
You know, Icarus is on the giant, it's on the roof, it's on the Shadows of Evil when you do the rituals.
Yeah,
the
so we
question
can
is,
assume that Mob of the Dead takes place either probably between Shadows of Evil and Der Eisendrache within that 2-year gap. Why else would Richtofen have the blood vials too? That's another thing.
and this has to be asked now since we're talking about it. And like we said, Jason Blundell says there's a lot of Easter eggs we missed. Is there stuff that we have missed in Mob of the Dead? There's probably Easter eggs we missed that,
I think there's stuff we've missed in every single map after World at War.
but I think, obviously Mob of the Dead is something that we're going to have to explore more as a community. So, I don't know. Last thoughts, anybody, on the whole situation?
Yeah, I just want to touch real quick on the whole like multiverse thing real quick, because I mean, some of you guys think like all the maps are relevant. Some of you guys think maybe not, and I mean, if we can have characters that are in like a multi-universe, is it not possible that we could have like worlds that are in like because I mean like there was the fact that Earth was blown up in the other timeline, if you will. But is it not possible that there's some kind of way to tie it all together? I mean, it's Treyarch, right? I mean, I really think Jason Blundell and Treyarch are trying to tie every single zombies map together, and it just seems super likely that they're trying to figure some way. I mean, this is very, very, very unrelated, but like, to me, it's kind of like what Nintendo did with Zelda. They're trying to make this timeline. They're trying to tie it all together, except way, way, way more like in depth with zombies, right? Is that I think they're trying to, maybe they didn't initially mean to kind of create some, story, but at this point they are trying to tie everything together in some shape, way, or form. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I think somehow they're trying to tie every single map together, and I don't know.
Yeah, like personally, I don't think they'd throw away 6 years of storyline. Anyway, final thoughts from you, Adam?
I just think that no matter what happens with these maps, like there's so much promise for this map. We haven't had a scary map in so long, and everyone's has a soft spot in their heart for the scary maps. Verrucht, not everyone's favorite, but it has the scary factor, and people like that. Same with Mob of the Dead. It's not my favorite. I don't like the map itself that much, but I really do like the scary part of it. And I think the fact that we're getting a scary map, but regardless of storyline, means it's going to be so cool. So,
all right. And lastly,
April
final
19th.
thoughts from you, Greg.
They basically there's a lot of talk that Shino Numa ties in a lot with it, and that was the 935 base. So I think there's going to be a lot of similar things there. Also, I was going to say one more thing about how, Buried ended the whole storyline with the Earth, by the way. Like, why Richtofen became a zombie in an endless loop if you do the Maxis side of it, and Maxis, if you kill him and you do the Richtofen thing, then he controls the zombies, and so it could potentially be considered over.
Yeah, and for me, my final thoughts are Shino Numa, Zetsubou no Shima, Flogger 2.0 question mark?
Flogger 2.0 period.
They also had that other thing that transported you up, the cable car thing.
Oh yeah, it's true. The
Gondola?
zipline, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Anyway,
zipline.
so do you want to wrap up the whole thing before we go off on another tangent, Greg?
I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope there's a zip line, but everyone's channels will be down in the description if you guys want to go check them out. We all post zombie content, so you guys will enjoy it, and live streams and all that stuff. So we'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching, everyone on my channel, Zombie Sub, and whoever else would like to upload this. We will see you guys later. Peace out.
Peace.
Darkness,